These walls can talk. Open your mind and listen.
Trailing down these hollow halls, can you hear me? Staring down these storied walls, can you see me?
Howdy.
No technical this time?
No, I've set it up that it automatically plays when I go live.
It's funny, in watching that video, the bumper video there, like Sandy made that about 10 years ago or so, right now I'm actually working with a music producer on a much shorter, more musical bit, right? He actually works for me, but he's a music producer on the side. So works with a lot of R&B and hip hop artists in Toronto.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking that, and no offense to everyone in this video because they're all great, but it's giving like watching a TV series like 10 seasons later with the same original
Right.
video from the beginning.
And to be fair, the 85% of the people in that video aren't investigating anymore.
Right. So yeah, no offense to them. It's just it's giving like really old intro video to new times.
Make it fresh. So tonight I wanted to be good and organic, off the cuff, like kind of like normal, but I wanted to show you like my notes. All right, I got these into it. This will show you how organized this is. That's how I take my notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't put them in any particular order. I'll sit there watching television with Sandy, and I'll all of a sudden just reach forward and grab my blue book. And if you look at other pages, it's where I put all my brainstorming ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And just, oh, don't forget that. So I'm reading off of this tonight. So if these points aren't lateral to each other, that's too bad. You can turn it off. So I want to be genuinely me. And the next episode, we're going to have a guest, but this one here, you probably heard me expunge these comments throughout the 54 episodes that we have. I've probably said almost every single point, but I'm going to say it again because I want to put it in one beautiful bouquet of fingers, just saying the absolute truth about what we do. So I've been investigating for 32 years. CHAPS has been around for 22 years. And we've amassed a number of investigations, and this is sort of the truth points that I've come out about really our field, right? It's kind of like I want to talk about the things that people are afraid to admit, or they already all know it's true. I want to be true. So we're going to go on with it. How's that? And you know what? I'll be happy right now at the team. Things had seemed a little slow at the start of the summer. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, you're dead. And now all of a sudden we're getting booked up solid towards winter. So this is a happy time. Lots of localized work. And it's always good when you're not driving 10 hours to an investigation.
Yeah, that's nice.
But, because I think we're going to keep our stuff on this side for a little while temperature's cool. So first point I'm going to make, and this is an overall point, it's a self-admission point. And I'm going to say that this is for not all teams. I realize people will be like, that's not the way our team is. Okay. Most teams, 90% of teams are this way. Most teams begin with its founder, director, president, whatever the F they want to call themselves. It's kind of like an alpha type, Napoleonic, low confidence, compensating mouthpiece.
You got that out
You
there.
can look at the head of most teams. They kind of resemble somebody like me. You know what I mean? We're like 5 foot tall. We don't have a lot else other things in our lives to be bragging about. So we talk about how great we are at what we do with the team. That's just a self-admitted point. But look at anybody else who seems to be the head of a team, and this is what you've got. Most teams are run by not necessarily a self-aggrandized, just more like a Napoleon,
Okay.
short man syndrome. And I can legitimately say I have short man syndrome, being a short man.
Would you like to share with the crowd how tall you are?
I'm sorry,
Would you like to share with the crowd how tall you are?
6'3". Okay, I am 5'5", and I've always been the shortest kid in class. I've always been the last one picked. So God damn you all, I'm gonna run something. And this is it. Yes, you call me a grumpy old man there, but I think that there's a different numeric figure before your name than there is mine. All teams are founded mostly on the inspiration or concept of a television show.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seems to have these wonderful inspirational stories about them and having a sequence where they felt the spirit or this and that. It really wasn't. I mean, I had that my entire life growing up spiritualist, and but I got to, and I did have an experience in Gettysburg in my 20s, which got me starting to independently investigate. But I got to be honest with you, everybody builds their framework around what kind of show they watched that impressed them. It's just the way it is. People are more dramatic. Maybe they watch Paranormal State or Ghost Adventurers. People want a bit more pragmatic. They watch, Ghost Hunters or I don't know, maybe Ghost Lab. I haven't really watched a lot of those shows, and I don't watch those shows because I end up yelling at the TV. Back in the day, Ghost Hunters and Most Haunted. And that was my drama, because Most Haunted was a lot of screaming and crapping, right? I knew of Carl before that in the martial arts circuit, because he's a competitor. But I was always fascinated by the locations that Richard would get.
I'm going to tell you, I have not seen a full episode of any ghost show. There was one you used to show, probably during COVID, you talked about because they were super gacky. But I think it was on like Tubi or something, some random streaming service. Yeah, it's never been.
I loved, when I watched Most Haunted, I loved the chroma key, like the green hue to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, really got that's what I wanted. I wanted that. And I think a lot of people, we do this, have this type of colorants because of whatever. No, man, you did because it looks cool. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not why you do it now, but that's what inspired you, right? You might have had a predisposition to certain things, but the TV gave you the kick in the ass to move forward, right? And whether everybody's like, well, I don't watch any of those shows, or nor do I care about those shows. Bullshit. A lot of you are always on there because I know, look, Jay Haas makes a post on his Facebook page. And you got 900,000 people. Oh, you're so right. There's no way you could be anything different. Oh, Jason. You know what I mean? And we know Jay. Jason's a great guy. You know what I mean? But there's that level of, so everybody's overly inspired by a television show. And they format their investigative procedures. And to a degree, they did that off of experienced people before them too. So it's not wrong, but people shouldn't lie that that they just came out with this inspiration one day. People just aren't that inventive. Oh, and everybody has the matching uniforms. Now, at one point in time, so did we. Every investigation we went, we all had a matching CHAPS, Canadian Hunting and Paranormal Society. All had to be the same shirt, right? All had to look so great. You've got a CHAPS shirt on right now, that's fine, I got a TAPS shirt on. But when we go to an investigation, we've got about 7 iterations of logos now. We just all wear whatever. You've got slouchy, track pants on with the CHAPS logo. Somebody has a half rip. I've got a baseball cap, obviously, that's like 30 years old now, and it's.
I have a cup, I have a crew neck, I have this shirt, I have sweatpants, I have a TAP shirt, and I have that gray got ghost shirt that I took from you one investigation. I think that
You took my original Ghost shirt?
maybe
At
it's
Gettysburg?
small. I don't think it would have fit.
No, I had to go down and buy another one this year.
It's small on me, so I don't think it was ever your shirt. It's a woman's shirt.
That was an insult. But anyway, I always thought it's kind of funny that everybody, back when you first start a team, everybody's got to have like a
Yeah.
McDonald's uniform of.
It's a woman's shirt.
We're all ghost hunters, right? And that's fine because we still kind of like strive to get to that. We all want that, right? We all try the toys. We're all attracted to the toys. We all have all the goddamn. I have got a closet office full of all the little bleep blop doodap, blow this way, kiss me this way toys. Not that one, but like and guess what? And after so many years, you're going to be looking at it and go, sure, it works. It works for what? Immediate satisfaction. It gives me things to do and say, but it doesn't mean a hell of a lot of beans, right? And then you just stop using it because you realize I just need to spend so much money on batteries, and you're hauling around. Like I can remember, like when I first bought my bigger SUV, my Big Journey, with the extra set of seats, I got that so that I could fit the gear, and I still couldn't, right? So then I started getting rid of the gear, and now, like, I swear, I show up in an investigation sometimes with a single briefcase, and like, let's just go. I don't want to set up for 3.5 hours. The fact that we all believe that we're scientific, the amount of teams that say, we do things, scientifically, we're a science-based team. You're not.
Only Robert's allowed to say that.
Because they're scientists, right? They're all dorks. You got to be a dork to be a scientist. Robert obviously is with a bunch of dorks. So great. They all have their own professions. I'm not smart enough for that. I didn't do really well in school. I'm not particularly smart, right? So we're pragmatic. You're either a spiritual team or you're a pragmatic team. You base things on logic and I think once you can come to that conclusion that we can only give an opinion based on what we can get out of it and leave the science to what they are, the science community laughs their ass off at you. And especially when you're online talking about how scientific you are. But our teams, teams out there can't get over themselves. They can't get over the science label. We're scientists. It's okay to admit what you're good at, what you're not good at. Mm-hmm. Like, I sucked at every sport known to mankind. I've been on skates once when I was 8. I've never skied. I can't swim worth it like crap, right? But I was okay at wrestling and martial arts. On the mats, I'm good at falling down because I'm short, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next. Portals. For all the teams out there, guys, it's never been a thing. Portals aren't always in the basement, in the mechanical room, or near the hot water tank.
It's the mirrors. Mirrors against mirrors.
Portals aren't a thing. Portals are in a movie. Portals is a human construct. We need to justify that there's a doorway that the stuff is happening and coming up. So it's not a thing. Hate to disappoint all you people. If you go to a science, I said that science word. If you go to a psychic fair or something and they're talking about portals, they're making that up. All right. It is honestly just for show. EMF. Not only do most people not know how to read EMF correctly, right? Or they make a big deal about a little blip reading. EMF is truthfully, I don't know, what's it based on? Like, I get it's based on. EMF is a base read to see if, for us personally, that there isn't some kind of field going on that could be affecting your brain. Mm. We don't have any proof that a ghost affects electrical. That came out with I don't even know, Harry Price, I think, had the original idea when he was using the ticker tape machine. That was his, and then there was another gentleman, and I know that Dr. Persinger, who had created the God helmet, which was an EMI stimulus helmet. Actually, one of my bosses was he was their lecturer for university before he passed away. So EMF has got lots of ideas and lots of theory, but it's not based on anything solid, right? Like everything that we do right now, it's best guess scenario. It's like you got to throw 1,000 ropes out there to see which one you pull on gives a tug back, but there's no proof. When you go do one of the ghost hunters shows, not ghost hunters, a TV show, but like you go to like a Paracon, and they're explaining this as a proof. They're explaining this as a solid. It's based on nothing. We're all based on guesses. We're all doing research, and it's okay to say that. It's okay to say I'm researching this because I think, and I've heard enough that I can research it more and just keep trying to do it better. Don't ever use that proof word, but EMF people, everybody walks around with a friggin' K2 meter, which, I mean, I can drop my phone on the ground, K2 goes off. There's nothing based on it.
No.
Right?
It shouldn't be the initial decision on whether you think there's activity or not.
There's a lot of cases that are based.
It should be a supporting factor, not the decision maker.
Like I know that we're going to be doing an investigation and then reporting in a public setting. And I can tell you that I may say that we got EMF readings, but they're not going to mean a damn thing. So we'll see. I mean, the only investigation so far that EMF has actually come in was the Biltmore.
Yeah.
And it was just weird that it was only going off for one person. And
yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
And only during one topic matter in all different parts of the quite vast building. So, and it wasn't proof of anything. It was just really interesting. There's never any proof. Okay. And all the things in the paranormal that we look at, that we watch the shows at, that we go out to do, be that Nessie or Bigfoot or Shitman or whatever, there's not a solid piece of proof out there. Every picture of Nessie, even though we've got the greatest photographic evidence out there, like we got great cameras, we've got drones that can float above the water for 7 hours and film and FLIR. You have nothing. And same thing with Bigfoot. They've all been debunked as much as they've been pushed. There's no photos out there of ghosts that everybody can go and universally anybody who does photography can't look at a digital file or whatever and be able to pick it apart. Nothing.
No.
So ain't no proof. I'm just trying to roll through these quickly tonight. Yes, the success of a team is rarely based on integrity. It's based on marketing. Based on who's better digitally. It's based on just who's better looking. It's based on teams that just happen to have it. Like, you know what? Like, Ghost Adventurers is terribly popular. Why? Because you've got this hyper monkey man that who's kind of freaky. And he's worth like $200 million now for what? It's not about integrity. It's about the look, right? Look, I've got lots of faults, right? I'm trying to talk through my false teeth right now, and it sucks. I've got 4 different pairs of glasses for different viewing, close to the computer, walking, driving. Just busted up middle-aged man. But all you're going to get, and all what you're going to get from me is going to be kind of crass.
Claire, you're not helping.
Yeah, that's fine. To be honest with you, most teams, as much as they have that mindset that we're doing this just for our own organic purposes.
That's not allowed. If you want a smidge of following, you have to be gimmicky and you have to use it.
You know what the thing is? Every single team out there that hasn't made it would be okay with making it. A lot of them are like, oh, no, I don't do this for that. No, you don't continue to do it for that, but you'd be more than happy.
Mhm.
Because we've had producers, we had a string of years where there were producers coming out my ass, and we were doing segment shots and episodes and whatever. I had one that asked me if I could fake evidence, you know. And oh yeah, he's like, and then what do you think about Ghost Mine? And I told him, I was talking to him. He was in Los Angeles. I'm talking to him. And I said Ghost Mine was probably one of the biggest pieces of tripe on TV, until it turned out it was his show. Right? So that kind of got me blacklisted from that grouping. Unfortunately, you can either get to a point where you're just doing it for the research, but everybody would be more than happy to have their name in lights and have their name in the newspaper and in a publication, right? Nobody's doing this for altruistic reasons. It's okay to admit your ego getting stroked once in a while is okay, right? Let's be honest. I'm going to turn around and do a magic trick, by the way. Now I'm going to talk a little differently. Don't ever pay a couple $1,000 for a set of teeth. COVID destroyed investigation.
Absolutely.
Not only the fact you couldn't go anywhere to investigate anymore,
But no one wants to put any effort in anymore.
there's no initiative anymore. My team went from 25 people that if I put an investigation tender out, I would have 15 people say they could do it. I only needed 4. Now I put out an investigation tender and most people don't check. Every couple of weeks they'll look in and see what's up.
People got comfortable being in their houses and doing their own thing and saying no for a multitude of reasons that now it's like it's second nature. They don't want to leave their house.
Right.
I'm a homebody too, but
part of me is the same way, but it destroyed everything. It destroyed everything. The initiative just went out the window. Even when you're asking for creative ideas, nobody wants to be creative anymore. So it is, and everybody's offended by everything.
I also think on the flip side, because COVID largely caused like an economic collapse, largely, it has led to a ton of places like creating really big rates for us to even go for like an hour. Like,
well, I know that there was a jail.
yeah,
I will be unnamed at this point in time, okay? Because maybe I want to do it again one day in Eastern Ontario. That we used to investigate. We've done it a couple times. You'd pay them $50. You had it for 7-8 hours. Didn't matter what time. They brought pizza in for you. Now it's $500. You get it for 4 hours. And you have to pay to film. You have to pay a filming.
yeah, and I've noticed that it's a lot of pay to film. You have to do a full permit application with the city. You have to, or you can only do it for like an hour or 2 hours, and it has to be on their after hours, so you have to pay extra money. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do a full investigation in an hour?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Set up.
There's a lot of that. Do we have anybody watching besides Rob?
We've got 4 viewers right now.
4?
1 on YouTube, 3 on Facebook.
Where are they all from? I know one's from Virginia.
Doesn't tell me where they're from.
Ask me that while I read.
Claire's obviously watching. She's
Okay.
messaging. We have Diane Parent. And there's other people. Cryptic Craftwork and Eileen Langvin. They've liked it. Yeah, Claire says she's watching.
Okay, hi Claire.
Diane's from Aylmer, Quebec.
Is it Aylmer or Almer?
You're asking someone that's not from there. I don't know.
I was just in Quebec.
Is it Aylmer? I don't know.
We'll probably pronounce things terribly because I grew up with Toronto French.
Do you know what French is great? Acadian French. That's Acadian French is its own language.
But I was at Pembroke for 10 years on the border. I should be better, but I'm not. I'm terrible. Okay, so next truth.
You pronounce it Y, she says. Yes, Aylmer.
Head of a team, a
Yes.
director,
Mhm.
will have contemplated collapsing the team or leaving many, many, many times. Do you know how many times I've been talked down off the roof? Well, you know, you've talked me down off the roof. Elliot has talked me down off the roof. Must say, Elliot is kind of like my, I don't know if you want to call him the rhino in the mist. You know, like you got to go up and put your head against something hard. Maybe that didn't sound totally right, but you know, he's kind of like my when I get all amped up and I message Elliot, and he always seems to have that Zen kind of talk. But you know, it's important for somebody who runs a team to be that kind of have that kind of amperage, right? Because you've got to be that driving force to go, yeah, we got to do this, right? And then when you have that much energy towards it and that much investment into it, it's tough when there's blowback or, hey, everybody that runs a team, I realize when you just started that team, everybody's cool. We're all friends. We're buddy, buddy, buddy. We all get together. There's 5 of us, and there's nobody in charge. Yes, there is. There's always somebody who's in charge. And then
They may not be like formally written as in charge, but someone's making the decisions. Someone is being looked at to make.
There's leadership in everything.
Mhm.
Okay? Like there is. I mean, you know, and you're picked for certain qualities. Obviously, CHAPS is kind of a polite dictatorship. That's just the way it is. But
I say we collectively decide on things lots.
obviously, we can chat about it. I'll decide on it. The way it goes, though, when you're getting blowback, because you're so invested in it, every time you get any form of blowback, defensiveness is natural. But when you're like running a team, it's like, yeah, I'm very polite. Fuck off. You're from Virginia. You guys all just sound polite. That's it. You take your southern accent and you sound polite, but you're not. You're like the British. You're actually insulting me without just insulting me. You do it politely the way you would do. I don't even know how to say that.
Really sounds southern, if that makes sense.
I mean, to be fair, it's the truth. You get amped in pretty easily. I've tried to break this team apart. I've walked away from CHAPS 60 times. And more I think about it, it's like, I don't want anybody else to have the damn name. I don't want my footprint getting filled. I've been doing this for like 32 years. I've been doing this longer than, you know, members have been alive on the planet. So
The only member that hasn't been alive. Oh no, I guess Abby too.
Abby, right?
Fine.
Right. So anyway, look, I've been doing it a long time, and I don't want to leave that behind. So I find now I just need my opportunity to vent it out, and then it's done. Every team will have their day. Okay, this is the truth, and never regain their peak. Flavor of the day as things change. Every team. Well, I mean, they may not get a peak, but they'll have their day where they get noticed. They all of a sudden like, oh, the city of Oshawa is calling, and they want you to do 3 of their properties, and you're going to be in the local newspaper and on the local televisions. You'll get that. You will. For us, that was like 2015, 2016. We had 60 investigations that year. We had 3 teams running. I don't know how many radio shows, TV shows I was on, how many pilot episodes we were filming. My words were in the syllabus of 6 different universities. We were part of the education in the journalism programs of 6 different
This is funny because that was right after you got sick. You had just started getting sick, and somehow you were still pulling that.
So we had a peak. And then COVID, you know, take a big melon baller, come in and scoop out everybody's balls. And then we have a new reset. 2022, 2023, everything kind of put back into gear.
Yeah.
Well, now, unfortunately, it's all the fucking sensationalistic teams with all the little lights because people want to be easily amused and they want immediate satisfaction without the work.
Mhm.
And right now, that's okay because now it's their peak. The unfortunate thing for me is that I'll be getting too old and unhealthy, that by the time that peak is over and done with, I won't have that same gusto.
Mhm.
You know, who knows? You know, you're a young mom, right? And this team will go to you one day, and I mean, it's in the will. So you know, uh,
This is how I find out on a podcast.
you won't really. Well, Sandy first. uh, but that peak, you know, may not interest somebody else.
Mhm.
Who the hell knows? And the world's changed completely. The dynamics of where we can go and how safe it is to go is a totally different thing. Like, fuck, I was in Poland 6 weeks ago. And now, like, you know, the Russians and the Poland, they're talking about fighting. Well, I'm kind of glad I'm not there right now. Right? Oh, it's just bizarre. The world is changing so fast. I can't read my own writing sometimes. Do you know that? Well, I can't.
Shocked.
Okay, you will want, you know, you'll want every toy, you want every process. Okay. Oh, excellent. Holly. Well, I emailed you today about Holly is from up in Gravenhurst.
Okay.
Lovely. Great. Now she's gonna see me for who I am, right? I'm real about things. There's no lie. You know, one of the things also too thing is that you're going to want every toy, every process, every connect finger sticks thing going off, and we're going to justify that until you're going to want to get back to basics. And honestly, all you're really going to want to be concerned about with in the end is, first off, you're not going to get video evidence. There's no video evidence out there, none. I make videos to epilogue, maybe that's not the right word to use, our journey. And to be able to show the client, look, hey, this is what we did.
Mhm.
And same with the pictures. I have 3,000 pictures on my website. There's not one paranormal picture. Do you know why? Because there isn't.
Mhm.
Audio is where it's at, and that's where we put our stuff. You know, we have great EVPs. We've had some interesting EVP. Sandy is a great sound engineer when it comes to that, and she edits good videos. But we're not glitz and glam. I'm not going to come in there telling you a ton of shit, and you'll tell you that you've got portals. Yes, I definitely lack a social filter. There's no filter. Look, I'm a Gen X, middle-aged man, kind of overweight. I'm missing teeth.
I'm gonna take a shot for how many times I hear that sentence come out of your mouth.
You're my daughter. You've been hearing that your entire life. And you know what? You're a self-entitled Gen Z.
I'm a cusp of a millennial and Gen Z. Gen
Dude, I'm the real thing.
That's it.
So, you know, I'm going to say about what's really popular too, but this has been popular for a while. It's not just now, but it's popular with every team, is performative actions. Performative actions. People do things that they have to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Like we'll all get together and stand in a circle and ground ourselves so that we don't get affected. I have been investigating for 32 years. We have done over 500 investigations. I've investigated prisons, I've investigated theaters, I've investigated asylums, I've investigated lots of places. Guess what? I don't prescribe to something coming back with me, so you know what? It's never happened. All right? But the other performative actions I never got, like people that like borrow from other religions. It's like they'll read, you know, from the Torah or something, but they're not Jewish.
Right.
The biggest one, of course, this is not meant to offend either. This is actually the opposite of that. But when people and teams do things like saging, but you're not, are you a shaman? Do you prescribe? No, but like, do they prescribe to indigenous religion? What exactly are they doing? I will tell you that there may be some that do, and I assume that there are some, you know, and I'm not smart enough to be like, okay, I know exactly what the purpose of this is. But I'll tell you that 80% of the teams that do, don't. They're doing it because another team did it, or because they think that this is a traditional mystery, or it's going to help. It's going to do nothing to your investigation. It's not going to stop Gork the zombie from coming through your window and haunting you. All right, because we haven't even proved what a haunting is yet.
Mhm.
Nobody has proven what a haunting is yet. All we can do is investigate claims of a haunt and see if we can come back with evidence to support it or not. Right? Doing things like that, it adds to the mood. Maybe it might smell better. I've burned
Definitely, yeah, I can see how that might be.
like look, I'm like 100% Oshawa, right? As bad as that is. So, and I don't prescribe to any religion whatsoever. I actually despise religion. So, I don't do prayers before investigations. I don't do groundings before investigations, and I don't do anything that I'm not genuinely, organically attached to.
Mhm.
And that's the way we play things on our team, right? Because I'm not going to put lipstick on a pig, right? I'm a pig, and you can see that. AI.
Ugh.
AI is reframing paranormal investigation. How much of the shit out there that we're watching is deep faked up? I have no idea. How many advertisements are made with AI? I guess maybe an advertisement's okay. Maybe AI would make me look better and thinner.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't like it. I've used it in the past to like come up with like a grocery list, but like I think particularly if you're in a business that you know how to use a computer, in investigating or photography, for example, it looks tacky. Like I don't think, and one, it also makes you lose your credibility, especially if you're in the paranormal realm. If you're using AI to post stuff, what are your viewers going to stop at thinking? Well, when are they not going to use AI for?
I had to send an email, obviously, to Holly, responded to email to Holly tonight in regards to a public. And some people would use ChatGPT to do that stuff, but I don't like the disingenuousness of it. Okay, like I am so untech to a fault. Like I don't know, look at my phone. That's how many apps are on my phone. I have a news app, a credit card app, and a bank app. Okay?
We're not the same.
I
Okay.
can't, but that's okay because then there's less flurry going on, right? But it's changing everything about what we do. Now there's you know what it is. It makes it much easier, and you teams out there will do it. You guys will fake evidence so that you can get on a show or get likes or videos or hits or streams or whatever else, right?
And that's my biggest thing is the credibility of it, is that I don't want our team getting into it because then what are people going to think we're going to stop using AI? Like where is our boundary, in terms of our utilization of it? So I just rather not even get ourselves in that sticky mess.
And true enough, I already made this point earlier, but 99% of what we do is no solid theory behind it, whatever. If a team feels like orbs, okay, orbs are dust. And let's say 99% dust. Let's say the 1% is a spirit. Your Uncle Bob with one leg, he walks with a double limp. I don't know how he does it, but he manages to make like a skip, right? Well, he's in that orb, but that orb has a face, and that orb has colors. It's, whether that's refractoration or whatever. Okay, 1%. If a doctor came to you and said, I'm going to do a surgery on you, there's a 1% chance it's going to work. Well, I'm probably going to go seek a different kind of treatment, right? So if 1% of
I agree, Robert, I agree. Ugh.
Yeah. Look, they're the bane of everybody. I'm going to hear about it. And
No.
No. Kevin's right. If an orb has a nose, it's real.
Of course.
Okay. That we're going to agree. Next. No, can't read it. Can't say it. So if I can't read it, I wrote it down. 10% of your team will do 90% of the work. For anybody out there of a team, and you know it, if you're watching me right now and you run a team, if you have 10 people on your team, you're the one doing the work. There's one of you. Okay? It just comes down to it. Some people have better talents, but there's generally a driver. There's somebody that does the meat work, you know, and there's somebody that does the so and so, and then there's somebody that thinks that they're doing all kinds of work, but they're just kind of like cluster fucking things up. So to be real, that's just a fact, right? Most teams, I'm not saying all teams. I know lots of people are going to watch this. So actually, lots of people aren't going to watch this, but the 32 people that do watch this video are going to go, that's not my team. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be. It's going to be one day. Because when you first founded a team, everybody was linking arms and they were all great friends and they were all excited to go to every single road trip and every investigation. Everybody was willing to invest. And then guess what? Over time, it's just not as important to certain people. People's lives change. That's totally cool, right? It's totally cool. If you sat back and went, man, this is just not my gig anymore. And that's happened to some really great investigators, unfortunately, but that's life, okay? But that's the way it is. Next one's going to hurt a lot of people. They're going to hate this, considering we're involved in a lot of networks. Para-unity is a sham. It's BS. All teams out there are competitors to each other. For the most part. You're going to have axis and allies. We have allied with a handful of teams that I know I can trust, and we can go on investigations with them. But then there's 10 times more teams where I watch their stuff and I shake my head. And when you have like a Paracon and they talk about, that's right, brother. Hey, brother, para-unity. No, it's not para-unity, man. There's no para-unity. Because even then, okay, like take Robert, take CPRI, who I hold on like the Mount Rushmore of teams. Okay, for me, when I talk about teams that have inspired me and you know,
Rob's head is currently this big right now.
so it should be. But like, you know, when I say there are teams that have changed the way I thought and did things, they were one of them, right? So that's fine. So we have, but I can tell you that most of his team probably watches the shit that we do, and they go, "What are they doing?" Right? Because I would say it, and they said it to my face when I was down there in Virginia. What are you doing? Why did you go in there? That's how you sound, you know. And I'm like, well, because we got to go in and do an EVP session. That's just the way we do our standard, our SOP. Oh, and they look so confused. And then I watch what they do, and I'd be like, so why do you do that? And that's fine, so we learn from each other. But like, regardless, if you have an alliedship with a team, is that the word, alliedship?
Allyship?
It works for me right now. All right, so if you're buddies with a team, but I can tell you, you're still going to have differences there that you would argue. And then there's going to be 10 times as many teams who go to one of these para-unity things, and they all hate you. All right? It's a very competitive, backstabby, fork tongue, snake choking field. You'll go to do a public with a number of teams, and those other teams won't like you. I did a public investigation. Kevin will remember this. We did an investigation at Rolling Hills, and there was about 10 teams, maybe more, and they all had their fishing jackets with wires hanging out of it, and the big bold, "We are this team," right? See, I even got it tattooed on my chest, right? That's a Welsh dragon. That's a not a team thing. But the emblazoned like that, right? And they wouldn't talk to any of the other teams, and they would like walk down the halls of Rolling Hills like, "We will set up here." You know, two of the teams found out that we were CHAPS members, you know, and all of a sudden they're with us. I'm like, because you're here, I'm not going to get you with Jason Hawes. I can hardly get him that way myself. So he's not coming to hang out with you, right? We're just happen to be fortunate to be allied with them. So
Yeah.
all the teams hated each other, like hated each other. It was all about outdoing each other. We showed up with there was 3 of us. Of course, like if you look at me, right? Like I'm micro man, you know, 5'5", and I had Kevin and Bryce with us, you know, both of which basically are like, you know, the Twin Towers next to me. And we had a camera bag. like not even a big camera bag, like a very dainty camera bag with 3 pieces of equipment, right? So we had nothing to show off for. I don't even think we had matching shirts. But if we had uniforms, it would have been a lot more important. A lot of these are going to come in. Johnny Buffum gave me a couple of things that added to our skirmish of things to talk about. By the way, are we holding on to guests or are they all gone now?
We've got 10 right now.
Really? I'm glad to see all of you here. We retained the guests. So.
We have. I was just going to mention, though, with that parent unity, I remember commenting on someone's TikTok because she was glamorizing the hell out of orbs. And I was like, hey, like, you know, this, it really aren't all that. And she was trying to disagree with me. I said, listen, like, I'm, you know, from the GTA, you know, I sit on the CHAPS family board. Like, I'm not trying to, like, establish power over you, but I do come with years of, you know, experience. And then she goes, well, then I wouldn't support a TAPS family team. I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to have a chat with you over orbs, and you're just like,
I won't. I've gotten to the point where I won't argue with somebody unless they ask me.
well, yeah, I learned my lesson.
Oh, right. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to happen. You're not going to make, here's some history or truths. You're not going to make any money doing this.
Mm-mm.
You're going to go into debt doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to hope that you make it on a show, but you never will. Okay, so this costs money. Some people think, like, I remember well, this is how I knew COVID killed everything. I went on to the stupidest place, Reddit. Oh, yeah,
I love Reddit.
So that, no, I'm on it all day. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm
All day I'm scrolling.
I shouldn't say that, I'm at work all day, but you know what I'm saying.
I'll call your boss.
The Reddit is like the upside down, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's the opposite world. And it was local. It was the Oshawa. And I said, hey, I'm looking for investigators.
I remember that. Yeah.
And not only did I have people basically thinking I was asking them so I could go molest them, but they're like, you're not paying? Like,
I know.
what the
I
heck?
remember reading the comments.
It's just a research team. It's voluntary. Voluntary. Yeah. So COVID murdered all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like, I had members on my team that were willing to like pump actual cash. I've had members that would put money into the team to buy equipment. And unfortunately, over the years, and by the way, when I talk about teams that start to fight, eventually your team will do things like, well, like, we've created a board of directors, and some teams do have a structure that way. It does work. But I can remember moons ago, years ago, 15, 18, 20 years ago, and we were talking because back then we had dues. And back then you paid per investigation. Like, if we did an investigation, everybody paid $10 and we put it in a kitty. And every year you paid $25 and put it in a kitty. And we did fundraisers. We would do public investigations, charge $20, give the place that we're doing it with half of it. We took half for equipment. Can't do that now because you can't. And then you had the argumentation in the team as to what to get. Now you've got different sectors of people that are joining camps. All of a sudden, you've got like 6 people that are willing to leave the team because they've banded together to tell you what you're going to do with your team, right? They're not with us anymore, but probably because the investment that they wanted to do, I think we had a couple $1,000s to invest, and they wanted to invest in chapstick. And I didn't think it was a great idea. And people were banding against me. But like I said, they're not with the team anymore. So as much as that's going to happen, there is also that Napoleon syndrome guy that runs the team that'll just say, okay. TV versus reality setup. This is coming from John, and it's true. Like, you see a TV show and it all looks so much awesome, right? Like, you see them carrying the cables into the house. And I wanted to make it that we had like I got 10 pickup trucks full of equipment so that we could film the B-roll at the beginning and all those cables.
That makes me irrationally angry. I would not want someone filming me during that.
But
So,
that's what everybody wants. And
I don't want.
then people wonder why it is that you haven't produced this beautiful show in 3 days.
Because we're arguing what angle we want the camera at once it's been set up.
You know what? Like, and I'll tell you, people don't get along during setup. Everybody's like on the TV shows. Everybody's like, ah, yeah. You know what I mean? I know that I'm hardwired. I'm very high strung. When we get to an investigation, it's not the time to get into my face, right? And that's sometimes when people do.
I tried locking him in a basement, and he didn't find it funny. So
Look, it is what it is. But I can tell you that the setup is 10 times longer than almost the investigation. And that's where all the arguments are going to be. It's not a TV show. And the TV shows take a week to film. It's not 2 hours, you know, and then, you know, everybody, just the reality of it. Team conflicts are real. There's lots of fake evidence. Actually, and I'll finalize with this. Most of the teams are successful because of social media now, not based on anything other than that. The knowledge of how to use the equipment is shot piss in most places. People can't take a picture. People can't use a video camera. I know we still use video cameras. You know what I mean? Because every piece of machine you use now is doing it for you. So any nuance is gone. And then the editing programs and what does it afterwards are the AI. We go to an investigation. We forget to take that kind of picture. We forget to do this or film that. We screw that shit up, right? It's fine. We have checklists. And you know what? Sandy will give me production notes because that's what she does. She's the one that edits everything. And she's like, hey, Dave, you didn't take a team photo. We didn't take a sweep of the property. We didn't do the tour. Forgot to investigate this. I'm like, oh, Jesus. You know, it happens on every investigation. Something gets muddled up. But unfortunately, because there's not the amount of people that are dedicated to doing a volunteer thing, a passion, then it's not like, you know, back in the day, like when we had Sydney and she was a dedicated camera girl.
Yeah, you're trying to cross-train everyone and kind of memorize everything.
Nor, to be fair, in the beginning, everybody was all about training. Like we used to have like a team 101. It would start Friday night. It would go to Sunday evening.
Yeah,
everybody would stay at the house, and everybody would bring food. Now, you try to get people together for a 2-hour chat. It's impossible. So, you know, you have to over the years as running a team, and this is the harsh reality of it. And this is what teams don't tell you, is that you will have to change and pivot throughout the years so many times because of the fact you will be able to count on less and less and less people. Largely what I have right now with the team, and I'm talking about like a core balance, are related to me. So there is a personal investment there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
You know, like there's, you know, and that's fine, you know. And I don't think, and I had to understand it was Shan that said it to me years ago. You know, that like nobody's going to look at this baby the way I look at this baby, right? And nobody's going to have the same investment that I will.
Yep.
This is true. Think about this, okay? You have my grandson. He's a great kid. He's smart. Comes into my house and damages shit sometimes. I have a different view towards that kid than you do. But then again, some point in time, you're probably losing your mind with that kid as well. But he's your investment.
Yeah.
And he matters 100% to you. He matters 90% to me because I can send him home. Right? I don't have any kids.
Drop him off.
You were my kid. And I had a hard enough time with you. So that's the way it goes. Next episode, I didn't even hit the garbage bin. You didn't even see it. I missed it completely.
You could have just said Kobe, and we would have all just been like, cool.
You could probably tell I've never played basketball.
We would have believed you if you didn't out yourself.
Did you know that this whole time I'm wearing pajama pants?
Again, if no one would know if you were working from home.
I'm wearing pajama pants. There. I just wanted to throw in my authentic me.
This is a very vulnerable episode for you.
That was an authentic me.
We've taken out your teeth. We've seen your tattoo. We've seen your pajamas.
So I wanted to do this reel. So Holly's watching this, and she's going to read my email, and she's going to either be like, these guys are not coming. Or they're going to be like, I'm going to get the absolute authentic truth from them, which is totally cool. Did somebody call me fun-sized? Hold on, I'm going to go back in here.
Yes.
I didn't read the comments section.
Oh, I see it as I go in, so I just stop the whole time. I think it was.
I agree with you, Kevin. I really enjoy what Jay Haas does on YouTube. There's no push. Analog media is just a lot harder to transpose onto something you can review it. Wow, Dave. At least I'm wearing pants. This is true. Old Dave would sat here in my underwear.
Someone said your phone says. I don't know where it went.
You do sound like that, Rob.
Oh, it was Phil.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He absolutely does.
At least he was wearing pants. Are you guys regularly on Zoom calls without pants on?
I might even be at the office with no pants.
No pants on.
Don't tell my boss. Well, see, luckily I run my little corner of the world, and I've got a boss that's about 60 kilometers away. That's about 32 miles, Rob.
I mean, no. Okay, so we're having some mixed responses here. Please wear your pants to work, guys. I don't care if it's pajamas. Just
Okay,
wear
I wear jeans to work.
Oh, are you there?
Am I at work right now?
No. You asked them if they wear
My
jeans
home office.
to work. Are you there? Do you see them work?
I'm normal.
Maybe they wear sweatpants to work.
Okay, here's the harsh reality also. When you're middle-aged, and you're probably in PJs right now too.
I'm in sweatpants, yes.
Right, so you're in PJs.
Yeah.
I get home from work, and by 5 o'clock, I am in
Mhm.
pajama pants. Because
Absolutely.
guess what? I can.
Yeah, I change immediately when
I would investigate. I have investigated in pajama pants. The last investigation we did at Sir John Johnson House. I did the entire.
That's different. We stay the night there.
I was hospital sick.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was sick with my kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that the whole investigation in my pajamas, and lying on the dusty floor. So anyway, that's it. We got all that off my chest. Now the next video we do next month or the month after is going to be a guest. Anything you want to get off your chest? Any last comments? Q&A? Anything got to say anything?
No. I'm out of quick comments.
You know how to put comments.
I said I'm out of quick comment.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? When you become a mom, it's like that. No, I wasn't. I've probably investigated my PJs in Pembroke, but this was in it's at Cornwall, so it's Pembroke-esque. Everybody, I want you to have a great night. Oh my gosh, crystal ball! Wow, that was a long time ago. I'm really, you know, what makes me happy is the amount of people that comment on our page that we've investigated like 15, 20 years ago. Is fantastic. All I gotta say about that bumper video is I was a lot bigger in that bumper video. Like when I lost all the weight.
Yeah, I won't say yes. I'll let you say that.
We need to take some pictures and get some new video done.
I told you I
We're
could
gonna get a neat new hip sounding fresh bumper video.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in it and I'm gonna dab, right, whatever that is, right? I just figured, I know how much that used to upset.
I can't wait to clip because we did that at the exact same time. So I will 100%
I
clip.
remember how much that upset my nephews. Upset my nephews, and we were investigating with RRLC. I missed them. They're out in Chatham, and we did that. And their kids were there. They're like 13, 15, and the kids they went green. Oh my God! And walked out. It was great. Shan did it a couple times. It's so great to upset teenagers. I'm going to use the word Riz a lot. They like that.
No.
Riz. We're working on our Riz as a team. 6'7".
Anyway.
Still don't even know what that means.
Everyone.
All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
And Holly will be chatting with you by email.
Okay, bye.
I can't find the